My dad, who was a pediatrician, used to tell us that anything you can imagine can come true if you make it come true. I happened to just be in our pool at about 3:15 in the morning on December 27th. It was way below freezing because my hair was frozen, because I had this thought. Having served in leadership positions almost from the year I got here 30 years ago, and cutting my teeth on physician metrics that were presented, seemed like at every level, in every committee, with respect to finance and efficiencies and variance. And I thought the fundamental piece that is missing, that has been missing for decades in healthcare, is physicians are out of the driver's seat. They were being yelled at in the back seat by administration, by insurance companies, by third-party payers, by reviewers. They talked about quality long after they talked about your cost. You're an outlier for CT scans. You're an outlier for doing colonoscopies. That doesn't help us at all. So what would help us? Well, I think what would help us would be to provide insight into the cost consequences of our decision-making. The hospital's profit margins are so tiny. We need to help, and we can, but we've never been given insight into the entire business operation from the provider's standpoint and the consequences thereafter of our decision-making. And so the CareGauge is the tool that, in fact, shines the light on the entirety of the care from admit to discharge. When we came up with this bar idea, this green, yellow, and red bar, and we would put physicians on a particular DRG with a group of other physicians with treating that same DRG, we'd actually compare them, and we'd set percentiles. 85th percentile is where you transitioned from green to yellow, 115th from yellow to red. And the idea was, let them make the decisions completely by themselves, and let's do it at the bedside. And whenever they enter an order, provide an immediate feedback, live, real time, on the floor, and they could see if their CT scan, if they ordered a CT scan and it bumps it all the way into the red, we could actually provide a note to them saying, only 2% of physicians ordered a CT scan with this DRG. And that's all it was said. And then it was up to the physician to consider, well, darn it, I'm still gonna do it, or not. Because the physician now has something he hadn't had for a while, true ownership of the entirety of the relationship, not just caring for you. I'm mindful of the costs that my medical decisions impact you. And so that degree of ownership lends itself to a much greater degree of attention and care. And so I just sort of think, this is a really good idea. Let's give it a go. I'm sure somebody's already done it because it's entirely too simplistic. And then I read the story on sliced bread. I actually read the story on that. You'd think the guy that made sliced bread introduced it and it went crazy. No, it took him a couple of years to get crazy. Then it did go crazy. But everybody's like, well, why would you want sliced bread? Well, why would you want the CareGauge? Physicians driving a car safely, more efficiently, into greener zones for the administration and the patients as well. And they're doing it all on their own because they want to. That's what we're trained to do. We're trained to make people better. We want to make people better. And we're the best people to know about the care. So just let us do what we do best. And I promise you, we'll deliver to you a happy patient and a happy bottom line.